Okay, today's session is the orientation session for ICI World. We're going to get started. Everyone needs to go to this website up here called ICIWorld.com. And this orientation is for new members. It's also for existing members to review. Anyone, and it's also to back up our pledge. Our pledge from ICI World is that every single member should be making money, actually doing a deal every 90 days, or at the very least, developing good business relationships with others that will lead to doing deals every 90 days, or you must call us. And we're going to be going through this particular, okay, just one moment, please. Okay, so I'm going to be recording this session with Doris Perino, who I'm going to introduce more properly in a moment, a Royal LePage agent. But Doris was just on the computer, and she was having a little issue with our GoToMeeting control panel way up here at the top right corner. We're in a GoToMeeting session where we have Doris's screen on my screen, and we're recording this session. And she's kindly consented to that, and thank you very much for doing that, Doris.
Okay.
And Doris is going to mention in a moment. In fact, why don't you take a moment right now, Doris? Doris is a Royal LePage agent, one of their top agents, and she's also a trainer with Floyd Wickman. Can you tell us a little bit about Floyd Wickman, Doris?
Yes, Floyd Wickman is one of the top trainers, has been the top trainer in North America for almost 40 years. And they do offer a 7-week program, a coaching program, and an online program. The 7-week program is their signature product because it typically generates one listing, one sale, one transaction per person per week when agents take it as we've recorded it through the past 40 years. So if agents are looking for a high results producing program, that's definitely the type of program that they'd like to be involved in. Once they're done that and they want to keep on the maintenance, the one-on-one coaching or the group coaching is highly recommended. And if you're in real estate, definitely the Floyd Wickman 7-week program is a program to go through.
Okay.
At least once a month there. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for that, Doris. And I can tell you that I've spoken with Doris, and they've got some great metrics to actually measure success of agents, which means that when you're successful, it more than pays for itself. Is that a fair statement, Doris?
Absolutely.
Okay, now because we're doing an orientation, we could get sidetracked, and we're going to be doing hopefully more stuff with Floyd Wickman in the future, but we'd like to get this orientation completely underway. And when we started, Doris was, thank you for that, Doris.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, and she had the GoToMeeting control panel in the top right-hand corner. And in her case, she had to click on the 2 little arrows at the top right-hand corner in the GoToMeeting session in order to minimize that session. But if you don't mind, Doris, I'd like you to click on Member Login. I'm going to point it out and then let you do it throughout this session. And this is how we work with members throughout the world on ICI World. And I'll show you a moment how we actually work with everyone. Click on Member Login.
Okay. Member Login. Okay.
And go down the page just a tiny bit, and you're going to see the orientation program, the PDF file. Go down the middle page, and I'd like you to actually click on, too far, it's back up. It's right underneath Welcome. And you'll see it's the orientation program, the PDF file, and we don't have to click on it. I want to point that to everyone that's going to be taking this session, because today's session is going to follow this point by point. So when you're listening to this video, please go get the PDF file and print it out, and we're going to be following the guideline in this video of this PDF file. So there are some items that we go over with you. If you miss one thing on this page, in fact, you'll see that we have if you miss one thing on this page, you can actually miss doing deals and not realize it. And if you want to see the deals that are going on, you just click on the ICI World Home back up here, and I'm doing it right now. And then you go to this testimonials, which is over here, and you have to move the mouse around. There's something wrong with that mouse. I got to fix that. But you should click on it till it turns to a hand and a finger. You click on the testimonials. You'll see it working up here. You just have to let things work. And then what you're going to see is over 50 pages of testimonials, and more than one person has done $50 million deals here where they had 12 offers from all the major real estate companies, and it was members of ICI World that end up selling stuff. But all kinds of properties are being sold here, as you'll see, and you can go through these on your own time. Now, getting started with this video, you should be able to control the sound of the video, and you should be able to stop and start the video, because once you are working from the printout, you might want to stop the video, look at the printout, go do some things yourself, and then come back to it. So it's a real workshop video and printout presentation that you can use to really go over this step by step and doing it at your own speed. So all executive members should also now get through this at some time. Otherwise, again, you can be missing making money and not realize it. Now, the items that we go over with you in a webinar workshop are conducted over the internet in your home or business office while you are talking with us on the phone. And it's by appointment. And you'll see up at the top of this website, it says make an appointment. The website address is ICIWorld.com, such as you see over here. You click on make an appointment, which I'm going to do. And then you're going to see that it's a 60-minute workshop right here, which I'm going to click on. And then what you do is you simply pick the day that you're interested in. And then you pick the time that you're interested in. I'm going to pick 6 a.m. in case there's anybody. And then you can click on confirm. And yes, we do start at 6 a.m. daily. And book your time. And then 10 minutes before your time, what you're going to do is you're going to come back to ICI World and right to the main page. And you're going to click on this webinar workshop. Let me get back to the main page. You're going to click on Webinar Workshop up here 10 minutes before your time, and you will be speaking with us over the internet. And that's how the assistance is being provided to all members. We actually cannot have 30 people or 1,000 members calling in at one time, but we can easily make 30 appointments. Absolutely no problem. And if we need to make more, we'll make more time available. But so far, it seems that when someone gets trained, they're pretty well. There's only two things you do on ICI World. You're basically going to search from time to time, and you're going to add your listings from time to time in this member login. The rest is automatic, and we'll be going through that at all times. So ICI World is a society of real estate brokers and salespeople networking exclusive information, commercial and residential, and advertising listings as well, exclusive listings on a searchable database that is 24/7. We've been operating since 1994, and it's available to search on mobile devices. And the mobile devices, I'm just going to click down here for the moment. And there's the mobile devices that you can be doing them on. You go to the App Store or to the Play Store, and you search for the word ICI World. And so it's called the ICI World app. Now, it uses up a little bit of resources on your phones, but if you've got a strong phone, you're fine. If for any reason you feel that you don't want to install the app because it drains your battery by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if you add up all your apps, you can just use what we call the shortcut. The shortcut is ICIWorld.mobi. And there it is right there. You can hardly see it, but there it is right there, ICIWorld.mobi. And when you go there with your Google Chrome or Safari browser on your phone, and you go to that website, you can add it as a shortcut. And when you do that, it uses up 0 resources and does not use up any resources on your phone. A lot of people like using the app. It's simple to install. Go to the App Store, search for ICI World, and install it. And you could also do both and use this one. And some people are switching between the uses of both. I'm not going to go into that now, why we do that. I have both on my phone, and I use each one from time to time to make sure everything's working great. Now, one of the things I notice on your computer is that you do not have a favorites bar, Doris, and if you don't mind, I'd like to show you what the favorites bar is all about and why it can save you keystrokes for the rest of your life. May I?
Sure.
Okay, and I'm going to ask that when you're in a session with us, please do not move the mouse unless you check with me, because if you do, I can't actually do it. Now, up here on this particular Google Chrome, I'm going to click on these 3 little dots at the top right, And I'm going to go down to this thing here called bookmarks, and I'm going to slide over to something special called show the bookmarks bar. And I'm going to click on it. And so I clicked on show the bookmarks bar, and this is what we got. Now you could import your bookmarks now, or you could do them later. I'm going to suggest we do them later. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag this little icon next to the 3 W's, and I'm going to drag it right down to this particular shortcuts bar, and I'm going to let go, and you'll notice how it put ICIWorld on your favorites bar. Okay, now, because you're also, in your case, a member of the Toronto Real Estate Board, when you go to your real estate board service, this is your real estate board service. Is that correct?
Right.
Good. I'm going to let you do it this time, Doris. You drag that little secure button with the lock and drag it and put it to the right of ICIWorld, please. You do it. You have to drag the icon to the left of the HTTP. That's it. And drag it down to the favorites bar. Let go. Nicely done. I'm going to suggest, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click on ICIWorld, and I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to remove everything after the .com because you really don't need this stuff. And it's going to make the name shorter so that someday you can put more items on your favorites bar. We're recommending your top 10 favorite websites go on your favorites bar so that you never have to type them in again ever for the rest of your life. Do you like that idea, Doris?
Absolutely.
Okay, right click on status login page. Right click on that. Go to edit. And I'm going to suggest that you change the name to Treb for now. And if you don't mind, Doris, just type in Treb in capital letters. Now you notice, Doris, I'm showing you how to do it so that if you don't like our suggestions from ICIWorld, and we are an assistant to like 1,000 brokers and salespeople, you do not have to do anything we're suggesting. You can change it at will. I'm showing you how to do it. And someday, if you wanted to delete that for any reason whatsoever, you right click on it and you can simply click on delete to get rid of it. Okay? Now, there's another one that we're recommending that you put on your favorites bar, and that's Google. And they've got a bunch of funny letters after that, which I usually just remove it and just leave it like that and go to Google. I'm going to recommend that you put that even before ICIWorld. Put it right down before ICIWorld. I'm going to let you do it. Drag that secure, and you'll see an up and down black line. Let go. Perfect. Nicely done. And now, whenever you want to go to Google, you just have to click on it. You don't have to type it in again for the rest of your life. Do you have a personal website?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please type it in here?
Wait.
Okay, so Doris has typed in her website, and it's coming up on the screen. Let's drag your website, drag that, not secure, and put it down beside Treb, to the right of Treb there. Drag it down to the favorites bar.
Yep.
Put it there. Oh, okay, very good. Now, in this particular case, I think this is called website box. So right click on the name Royal LePage there. Right click on it. And click on edit. And you say it's called website box. So that would be WSB is what I'm suggesting you make the name. I'll tell you why in a moment, capital letters. Thank you. Click on save. Now, obviously, if you don't like the names I'm personally suggesting, there's a reason why I did that, is to keep the names really short and to give it whoever your internet supplier of the website is, put that name there so that it eventually, and we're recommending that you can have more than one website because websites are like billboards. I'm recommending that you could have another one by maybe companies like Income and Point2 and Web4Agent and all the other companies in the business. There's 25 of them that we deal with where we supply our widgets for the website. You can put them all along here, and that way it's easier to keep track of which company is which. That's why we did it that way.
Okay.
And so I'm recommending you put your top 10 favorite things that you visit on a regular basis all along this favorites bar, and it can save you keystrokes the rest of your life. And how do you like that?
Perfect.
Great. Go ahead and click on ICI World now, please, on your favorites bar. On the favorites bar, click on ICI World, please.
Yep.
There's a little bit of a delay getting there, it seems.
Yep.
Okay, now we're back to ICI World, and we're going to Quick Start. If you're following the page, it's on page 2 of 8. Quick Start halfway down, searching, and this is the introduction. And we're going to talk about searching database 1, which is information placed by executive members. And the public can click on these listings and call the members directly. I call it the ultimate in marketing in the world from ICI World. And everyone that's listening, including the public and members, should be able to do searches either from a computer or from their mobile apps, any place in the world, and do it within 3 to 10 seconds. And I'll give you an example. We're going to click on the word search, and I'm calling this 1 second. Except that because of the delay, it's coming up. It came up, not too bad. I'm going to click on commercial, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. There's a delay. I can see it kind of hung up here. So it looks like the internet is finally coming up. Now, you keep in mind that I'm operating Doris's computer remotely here, and that's the delay. But if you're doing it on your own computer, it should actually pop up right away, literally within 2 seconds. I'm going to click on the search database down there. I just clicked on it, and I'm waiting for it to come up. 1,000, 2,000. Oh, it just showed clicking just now on her computer, and it comes up on the screen. So generally speaking, it's 3 seconds to come up because I'm doing a GoToMeeting session remotely over thousands of miles back and forth through where this stuff works. It's coming up now. Up at the very top, you'll see listings coming in. There's about between 10 and 60 to 100 listings coming in a day, and people can just kind of click on one of these listings here, and the public can actually read this information quite nicely. I think what I'm going to do is switch the computer over to me. See if it's a little bit faster. One moment. I'm switching the computer over to me, and I'm actually going to bring up ICI World on the screen. Here we go. And I'm going to click on search, which is 1 second, 2 seconds to bring up the form, and 3 seconds to click on search database, and you can see how quick things kind of come up. And if I clicked on the database for that office building, it comes up again within 1 second, and if you're operating your phone, it can come up. Now we're going to actually go, and the same thing you do it with the shortcut ICIWorld.mobi or the apps. And there is, if you click on the orientation online, there's actually a video that you can see, and I'm going to go take you to that particular video. Right now I go to member login, go down just a tiny bit, and you'll see that there is a video here, review member orientation. And when you click on that, this is actually live on the internet now. You can actually click on the video that comes up here, which is right there. I'm going to click on it, number 4, because that's where we are on the orientation. And this is going to explain how you can actually do searches right on your mobile phone. This particular session was done at Realtor Quest, the largest real estate show in the world, or the second largest, maybe second to NAR. And there's thousands of people that go up and down the aisles, and we're inviting all realtors to attend this session again next year, and we're increasing our booth size because it's so darn busy. But you should do searches every few days to see the latest listings, and you could be standing in line at a coffee shop, and you can do a quick search and make a connection for your next deal and go off and make $20,000. And it's for buying and selling opportunities. Okay, and I'm going to just kind of close that, go back to our main page to continue the searches. Now, to click on Search Database 2, when I clicked on Search, you'll notice that Database 2 also comes up here. This is information that is placed by the public absolutely free. Just let me make sure I'm still recording because I've made mistakes before. Yep, we're still being recorded. Thank you for your patience, everyone listening as well. And by the way, people listening, make sure you know how to stop and start a video and learn how to make the sound lower or higher, and so that you can control it at will and make it fit with we're on page 3, searching database number 2, FSBOs. Now, when we click on, we're actually going to follow the guideline. I think number 3 says click on member access. Yeah, we should actually do click on member login. Sorry, I better follow the video. Click on database number 2 and go up here to search database 2 FSBOs, which is number 4 on page 3. And then we're going to make choices on the left. Now, when I click on world, you'll see that the information from the public comes up, but you cannot click on these numbers. This is by design. You actually have to be a member of ICIWorld to be able to do that. But if I clicked on the member access, as it says in number 4, and then I click on member access and then click on the word world and make one choice, you'll see that some of these have stars beside them and some do not. We're at item 6 now on page 3. The ones with the stars have been placed by brokers who are not members of our service, and we allow them to do that because if this is an exclusive listing placed by a realtor who for one reason or another has not joined our service, then it gives access to all the members on our service to private and confidential information with another realtor, and you can go off and do a deal and make $50,000 selling that particular property, so this database number 2 can benefit you that one way. Secondly, we're not giving anything away because no one can click on these message numbers unless you are a member of ICIWorld. And thirdly, these numbers are actually from principals and you can deal directly with principals. So when you go there, you'll find that you'll see the contact name and numbers for the actual people that are looking to buy and sell. You can actually contact them directly. We do recommend that have something available. So if a person is looking for an industrial building, read his information, but try to have an industrial building when you call him. Don't just call him and qualify him. Try to have something available to show him. The same thing with this particular property here. If you have a buyer for something like that, give him a call and kind of do that. You shouldn't call them unless you have something for them, either a buyer or seller for their property. And then you can ask them the 3 questions if they have something for sale, and we're going to go over those 3 questions. The 3 questions are actually critical to you, helping you to make and get yourself additional money in addition to what you can make at your real estate boards. Okay, now we're going to go back to ICIWorld and back to member login. I'm going to pop up that little video or that live member login session that brings up the live page on the internet that you can click on items that you can't do on your printed out version. And it says copies of one, there's copies of one recorded orientation session. There it is right there. So you could also have a look at that. But this is an orientation session, which should actually be better than that one because we're following it line by line and we're doing it live right now with Doris. Doris, thank you so much for your patience while I go through this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, now a quick start adding and modifying. So we were saying before, there's really only 2 things you do in ICIWorld. One is to search, which we've shown you how, but the other one is to add your listings, where you go to ICIWorld.com. And I'm on page 3 down at the bottom, quick start adding. And then when you click on the member login page, you're going to arrive at our login member management page. If you ever want to get here, you click on it right up here. If I click on it, you're at this login member management page. And if you miss one thing on this page, you can easily be missing doing deals. And for past members that didn't make money, it's because they didn't follow the guidelines of the things that we're going to be showing you to make money. All of the choices for members are in the left-hand green column. And of course, log in. When you log in, we're recommending that when you log in up here, and we just did a seminar at Rob Golfy's office. So when you log in, you put your login up here. And we're going to suggest that when you log in, let me just log in here. Make sure I do it right the first time, I hope. Okay, that you make it for 1 month at a time if it's your own computer. If you're in your office computer, maybe just do it for an hour. Otherwise, somebody can come in and log in with it. But if you're on your own computer, use it for at least 1 month or 1 year, and then remember the login ID and then log into site. And you'll see that it's logging me in right here. Welcome. And you should see your renewal date. So my renewal date is November 30th, 2018. Okay, so now we're logged in. And then if you want to log out, if you're on an office computer, you do that. But on your own computer, you just leave it logged in all the time. We're now moving to page 4 of the printouts. Login help password. If you ever forget your password, you just click on that, put in your last name, search for the member ID, and go ahead and search for it. Now, I'll use you, for instance, Doris. If I click in Perino, and I can just put in part of a word and type it in. We find more people with double R's in their name, but there's you there, Doris, and you click on send login information. So within 3 minutes, you'll actually get your login information by email. And then we click on my record. Now I'm clicking on my record, which is my personal record. And oh my God, it showed the password. So we have a problem here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go change my password right now before somebody sees that. Isn't that something? I'm recording it and I have no way of going back and I don't want to do another one. So I'm going to actually make up another password right now. So I've just made up another password. Okay, there it is. So I've actually just changed my password and it cleared the password and it's showing it again. I should have actually stopped it. So I'm going to actually stop this right now. I'm going to stop the video recording and do my password. Okay, so that was a little interesting thing where I have to remember not to show passwords. I've changed my password. And if you want to use that other password, go for it. Try to log in as me. And I'm just joking, of course, but I've logged in. I'm now concealing my passwords like I should be. So I have to be careful when I do these recordings going forward. It's a lot of issues to try to edit these videos, so I'm just going to continue right on. Now, once you get logged in, the first thing you should do is to click on My Record on the left-hand side. And when you click on My Record, actually, you know something, Doris, I can actually switch over to you if it's okay with you.
Sure.
And I'm going to go ahead and make you the presenter here. And if you could go ahead and show your screen. And I'll make sure we don't share your passwords like I did mine.
Yeah, okay.
But show your screen there.
Okay, hold on a second.
So we're actually going to be operating on my computer, but Doris is going to, I've given Doris the okay to move my mouse. And Doris, if you could click on My Record on the left, which is now your record because we're logged in as you, and we've actually changed things around a little bit. And you'll notice that you can fix all of your information. Make sure that you have the word brokerage after your company name. You put your phone numbers in, etc. And then when you come down here, the market area. Now in your market area, I know you're doing Toronto, but do you also, I'm going to suggest you put the GTA in here as well. Doris, go ahead. I would type in the GTA and put in Toronto as well. Go ahead.
Okay, so type in Toronto and
you can do GTA Toronto, comma, space, doesn't matter what order, comma, space, and then you can start listing cities that you do business in. And if you type the cities in, people that are maybe in Mississauga that want to find a broker who works, in your case, if it's York region, they can search. You should put capital letters on the first letter of each word there. Good job. So if people, type in Mississauga, they can find you, and then they say, well, we can consider using, the cities actually have to be in there for people to find you, even though GTA is there. And you can keep typing on, and people can modify their record and put in other cities that you do business in. And then specialty, residential and commercial. Some people up north might want to put waterfront, or you do farms, or you do businesses, those kinds of things. While she's got residential and commercial. And the last box, you should put in the languages that you speak. And then that way people can actually search for people that speak those languages. We have a member search criteria where people can search for people that speak different languages. Type in that spam blocker, go ahead. And click on Modify Record. And click on the OK, usually after 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. And there's your information on the screen. How does everything look?
Good.
Okay, now, I notice you don't have your cell phone number here. I'm going to recommend that you put a cell phone number in. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's go back to my record. You do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then go to the cell phone number field. And a lot of our members will put the cell phone number in both the home number and the cell number field, and that's okay. And that's very important in our opinion, because through the internet, people, when they call on a mobile or something like that, they really want the action right away. They want the answer right away. And this is called giving good service to people, when you can make yourself available immediately. Because other than that, if you wait 5 or 10 or 20 minutes, next thing you know, they call somebody else. By the time you get back to them, they've already established a relationship with someone else. So giving good service is very, very important. Click on the OK there, up at the top. Okay, great job. Nicely done. I'm going to now move the mouse, if that's okay. Thank you, Doris. And on the left-hand side, so we've been through login help, and then to renew your membership, you just click on that. Memberships are all $3.19 to renew for all 1,000 members. However, we do have a sponsorship program where if you sponsor someone else to join, then your renewal can be reduced from $3.19 to $2.40. And the new person can actually join for $2.40 for 1 year if they've never been a member, and but they have to mention your name once they join. Some brokers ask me what happens if we get 3 or 4 more people joining. Well, in that case, we add 3 months onto your membership for each person. So if you got 4 more people to join, you actually get a year free. Okay, we're going to move down to see how the listings look. We're going to click on this one here first, latest world commercial for Canada, and you'll see the listings coming in one at a time so you can get an idea how they're going in. And we'll do the same thing for the latest world USA. And make sure when you're putting in your listings, you only put them in the location in which your properties are located in. We'll also click on the latest world residential. You can see residential listings coming in. And that shows you how to do that. Searching the haves and wants. I'm going to suggest that you always go to our main website to search the haves and wants, and I think I'll be changing this in the future. So I'm going to suggest that you actually go back to ICIWorld way up at the top, and that you click on search. And this is where you do your searches. You click on commercial, and then you can pick, the cities that you're interested in searching in, and the area you're interested in, and then you can pick a city if that's what you're interested in, and then you can pick the business category that you're interested in, and they're in there. And you could sort all the listings by price if you wanted to. And of course, we have the special field called Have Want Age. And because we do not delete listings like a real estate board for over 5 years, they're still here. We give you the choice to search how far back you wish to search. And in this case, you can choose how far back, but the default is 3 months. So you can search 3 months. That means if you have listings over 3 months, they are not showing up on ICIWorld. So these are listings that are showing up here. You'll see them coming in. Let's go back to home. So I'm actually on page 4, more than halfway down. And we're going to go back to the member login page, and you'll see that there's training videos down here. I'm going to click on it, and this is for the private and confidential use and exclusive use of executive members. And there's many things in here, and you'll see there's the 3 questions, 3 special questions that helps you work exclusive information, how to add a have, how to add a want. So there's a lot of kind of good help here that you can do in here. There's a special section down here, how to promote your website. This is actually quite a comprehensive section down here. People that are looking to how to promote your website. We've got information here from Google and other places, and SEO guides, etc. And 25 things, all kinds of things here that are going to help you market your website. You can get into that once you're a member into, and I'll show you where it is. I think it's back here. It's down here in the training videos on the left-hand side. Webinars, and then we've got our YouTube channel. Let's just see if it comes up. That's actually not the one I want. I'm going to change that. Sorry. We're going to be making a new video here. I can see that. But this is a good video for now anyways to get you going. But our YouTube videos, just so you know where they are, you can actually click on it on this main page. If you go down the page, it should have YouTube videos in the middle here. There it is. That's our YouTube channel. You'd actually click on that, and it'll bring up our YouTube videos. And there's over 100 videos here over the years. Every single video is still applicable today as it was then. But you can click on some of the latest ones to get your training, how to work exclusive information, and what's going on here with ICI World to help every broker make money. So that's the YouTube videos down there. The Resource Center, I'm not going to click on it, but there's a lot of resources there. And solds, you can click on solds here, to your own personal solds to come up. And here you can search by member, and so you can see your personal listings. And there should be search for a member there as well. Search by a member and search for a member. You can do that. So if you click on search for a member, this is a special form that comes up, and you can actually type in, like if somebody wanted to speak Spanish, looking for Spanish speaking people, you can actually click on that. Let's see if it works. Yep, there we go. There's all the Spanish people speaking Spanish. And if you just remove that and wanted to see members come up, you can just kind of search the database and you'll see them all coming up. Okay, let's go back and click on ICI World up at the top. And so ICI World is actually one of the largest real estate information databases in the world. And of course, 75% of the information is exclusive, not on real estate boards. And for residential, it's actually about 50% of the information on ICI World is actually exclusive for residential. We're now moving on to page 5. Now, we're recommending that every member have a minimum of 15 listings on here. Now, you probably had some, let me just check this right now for you, Doris. Hang on. So now what we're going to do, because Doris was actually a member a long time ago, and she's come back now, I'm going to click on her listings, which are a button here called My Listings. Okay, we're going to click on My Listings, and we brought up some of Doris's older listings when she used to be a member here a long time ago, and you'll notice that they're quite old. The first thing I'd like to say about this, and because this is a lesson for everyone in the industry, and I'm suggesting this is actually a responsibility now for all real estate brokers and salespeople in the industry to keep their information less than 90 days old, or they do not show up on the ICI World apps that thousands of people are using, and they're not showing up on the mobile website, ICIWorld.mobi, that thousands of people are using, because we have a default setup of 90 days. So I'm going to ask you, Doris, this particular property that used to have here for rent, is this still available, these property offices for rent?
Yes.
Okay, now, people, you'll notice that this was back in 2011. And people wonder, why do we keep listings here for 5 years? Well, this is a very good example of a 6-year-old listing. And the reason why this is important is because that building that these offices are for rent on is still there, even 10 years from now. And chances are there's still office space still for rent in these buildings. So this actually is an active listing, even though it's 6 years old. The property is there. The contact for people in this property is Doris, and she's now here, and she's been available. So that is still an active opportunity for people to rent nice office space for little as 400. Is it 495 now, or has it gone up?
No, there's some there.
There's still some there for 495. So I'm going to suggest that we can just go over here and click on modify, which I just did. Now we're going to go through this particular listing, office to lease. Everything still looks okay. We're going to go down here. Everything actually looks pretty good, and we got the 2 links for Toronto and Markham, which I'll show later how to do. And everything actually looks okay. Now, this is an open listing. You can see that. Now, the beauty of this is that once you become a member of ICIWorld, you are no longer restricted to making money with just a real estate board. The whole market is opened up to you, and we're going to show you how to handle it in each case. But this happens to be an open listing, and so we recommend you never place an address on here, and that you always put an agreement in place first before showing a property or before divulging an address of a property to someone. The last question on the screen says, will you allow your listings to be advertised on other brokers' websites? We always recommend yes. If another broker brings you in a tenant, would you work with them, Doris?
Yes.
There, so then you should leave it on yes, because it's similar in respect to real estate board type services where your listings are displayed across the internet on other brokers' websites. So I can click on modify record. Go ahead, Doris, you can click on modify record. I'm going to let you do it. Click on modify record.
Yep.
Down at the bottom there. Good show.
Yep.
Yep. Click on the OK there. Good job, Doris. And you'll see the listing come up, and you'll notice that your listing was also sent out to the following email list services, and there they are. Now, if you modify a listing within 30 days, it does not get sent out to the industry by email. If you modify a listing after 30 days, namely 31 days or more, it will get sent out to the industry by email. All listings. Now, we have a problem here. I just noticed this listing was actually in an expired listing area. We're going to change that now by going to My Listings, please. Can you do that? I'll point it and you do it, if you could. And click on the first one, Modify, at the far right. And go up to the very top to the status and change it to active and hold it here for a moment. Now, when you make it active, now status means our members only can access the information. So if it's inactive or expired, only our members can access the information. But when you make it active, now that you're a member again, Doris, it's active, so the public can now click on this and call you directly. Go down to the bottom of the page and modify the listing. Modify the record. Okay, good job. Click on the OK. We usually wait about 4 or 5 seconds and click on the OK. Okay, good job. Now, let's go ahead and click on My Listings again. In fact, if you want, I'll do it, Doris. Okay, I'm just going to switch up because it might be a little bit quicker. I can see a tiny delay there. This is, you still have people for this kind of a property right to this day. Is that correct?
Right.
And so that's a good lesson, because this is normal for all our members, that sometimes they work with the same buyers year after year after year, selling them 1 or 2 properties a year. And if you can do that for 5 years in a row, that's like 10 properties that you can sell them. And so once, we don't delete once either for years here. It's up to you, though, to refresh them to make them active. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on the word modify for you. Now, here's the big deal. You'll notice that your listings are from Burlington, Oshawa to Barrie. Now, Eastern Ontario covers Eastern Ontario, covers Oshawa. Greater Toronto, of course, covers Toronto. And Northern Ontario covers Barrie, and it is not selected. I'm going to click on Northern Ontario. Now down here, you can see that there's a choice of cities. Now, did you want to include Belleville, Bowmanville, Brockville, or Campbellford in this particular want at the moment?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we should actually click on those. Now we're going to go back a tiny bit more. How about Clarington?
Yes.
Coburg?
Yeah.
How about Cornwall?
Yeah.
Kingston?
No.
Now, Kingston is between Cornwall and Toronto.
Oh, right. Yeah, I do want it.
Okay. Now, what I'm getting at is none of these cities were selected. That means that during the time that you were a member, you actually could have been missing doing deals and not realize it. Do you agree or disagree? All over a silly click of a city.
True. Agree.
Now, how about these particular cities here? Can you just name them? Yep. Just read them out and I'll do it for you.
Lindsley, Napanee, Ottawa, Pembroke, Peterborough.
Okay, so you're essentially choosing them all, it looks like.
Yeah.
Fair statement. If you don't want me to click on one, you let me know.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just going to continue. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go right to the top. And I'm going to drag them out, pass them all, and select them all. Now, I can uncheck them if you want. Is Sudbury too far or no?
Nope, that's fine.
Okay, so we're going to leave basically everything here all selected. Okay, that's a big deal because if you miss selecting a city, you can miss making $50,000 and not even know it.
Yeah.
All right, it is a want. You are on apartment buildings. And here you could almost say basically, okay, so we'll leave it with all of this right here. It's basically Burlington right to Ottawa. I'm going to change this to Ottawa. Is that okay?
Sure.
It's basically Ottawa, north to Barrie, that should really be north to Sudbury, shouldn't it? Let's go back here to the subject line and fix this. Burlington to Ottawa. And north to, can we say Sudbury here?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Okay. And it was Niagara region included or no?
Yeah.
Well, if Niagara region is included, we didn't include it here. So we've got to select it, and we got to go select all these cities all over again. But I can drag the mouse down, and boom, I've selected them all. So we should also put Niagara and Niagara region. We should put Niagara region in here too. Okay. Do you have a minimum and maximum price range?
No minimum, and the maximum would be like.
Okay, you want to go from 0 to what?
To 2 million.
Okay, 2 million. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now, this is the price range of 0, and this is the price range of maximum. How are you going to make money with 0?
Oh, right.
What's the minimum that they would go look at a property at, do you think? Would they look at 100 and 200,000 in Windsor? Or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you want to put in 100,000? Just so we got something in there? Okay. Alrighty, let's go down. Okay, so we can basically, what I'm going to suggest we do here is copy the complete subject line there and paste it in down here. There we go. Go down to the bottom of the page and modify the record. Is that okay?
Sure.
And that's really tricky to do, doing those. So that's one of the reasons we do the orientation one-on-one, to make sure you get all these cities selected properly.
Yeah, it shows expired.
Pardon me? Oh, expired. Yeah, good thinking. Okay, let's go back to my listings. And let's go to the first one. And let's change it to active. There we go. Good point. And click on OK. Let's go back to my listings over here. Go down to this Toronto office for lease. Now, you mentioned that these offices are still for lease. And let's change it to active right away. We're learning our lesson. Now, you understand, because this particular office building, you just mentioned to me a moment ago, one-on-one, that the prices have gone up from 800 per month up to 1,200. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I'm going to change the price to 1,200 per month. Is that okay?
Yeah, and it's actually in Vaughan now, Vaughan office.
Okay, so Toronto, I'm going to say Toronto Vaughan. And the reason we do that is because people from around the world, and we get people from 138 countries coming here, they might not know Vaughan. So that's why we put Toronto and Vaughan.
Okay.
Close to Highway 400. Everything here looks okay. And then we're going to also choose Vaughan down here. Where is it? Hang on. There it is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And office to lease, Toronto, Vaughan. This has got to be changed to 1,200. Okay, per month. Lease price, we'll put it down here. You got to repeat it sometimes. Okay, 600 square feet. And
oh wait, it said 12,800. I think it said 12,000.
Okay. 1,200 per month, is it?
Yeah, that's it. Oh no, lease price. Yeah, 2,000.
Okay, good that you saw that. It's good working with the software together. That's another reason so comfortable to work with the software together. We put a link into the City of Toronto right here to help to sell Toronto to the world. And this is no longer MLS for you, I believe. It's an exclusive at the moment. Is that correct?
Oh, it's on MLS too. Yeah.
You've got it on MLS right now? Good show. And but you'll notice, by the way, that you're no longer restricted to just making money with just a real estate board. You can actually make money with a lot of other ways now with all these other opportunities. Okay, but we'll do MLS. And yes, to allow your listings to be advertised on other brokers' websites. Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm going to click on modify record, and information will actually appear on 1,500 other brokers' websites instantly and automatically. So that's the exposure that's happening just on other brokers' websites, not including the 20,000 emails, as you see, being sent out today, plus all the readership on 18,000 pages from ICIWorld and other means as well. Now, if I click on latest world commercial, you'll actually see her listings coming up here, right there. These are, and if somebody clicks on that from the public, either on their mobile phone or otherwise, they can see this information, give her a call, and away they go. Okay, let's go back to my listings again. And now, do you still need this multi-unit income property in the Mimico-Etobicoke area?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the same buyer that we had up here for this 3 to 20 plex?
No.
Okay, so let's click on modify. They're looking specifically in Etobicoke and Mimico?
Yeah, active.
Okay, so let's go back up here, and you're going to notice that Etobicoke was not highlighted. Now, this is common amongst all our existing members. Some people wonder why they're not doing deals. It's because the areas that they're supposed to be clicking on haven't been checked. So this is I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this with you, Doris, to point these kinds of things out, because that can help people pay more particular attention to clicking on these various cities. And Toronto should still be highlighted, so that's good. All right, apartment buildings, Mimico, 500 to 2 million. Everything looks good. Cash quick closing, nicely done. We can go down to the bottom and modify the record. Okay with you?
No, it should show active. It shows expired.
Okay, that's why I always ask before I do things. Good job. And okay to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay, click on, and you'll notice because we selected some various areas, it's getting emailed out to the industry, and there's about 20,000 emails going out a day. Alrighty, now if we click on my listings, you can see that all her listings have a 0 age. They're less than 90 days old, and if we were to go search the mobile apps right now, her listings would actually come up right on top at the moment. Okay, nicely done. Let's move on here. Okay, so I'm now on page 5 of the orientation. In the middle that it says receive the listings, haves and wants by email. I've been talking about 20,000 listings going out a day, and here's how you can receive not 20,000 but one. I'm going to click on Get Haves and Wants by Email. I'm going to click on My Lists on the left. And there's the lists. This one's called the Digest for Ontario for Commercial Real Estate. And I'm going to subscribe it again just to show people how it's done. We actually choose Canada. We actually choose Ontario. And we go down to the bottom to 100, show 100 results. These are all the commercial real estate and residential real estate list services that we have. But we have to go to the next results, which is the Ontario one. And these are all the commercial listings that get emailed out. So if there's 2 new listings today or 20 new listings today, because we selected the digest, you will only get 1 email with the 2 or 20 listings in it. And that's how you subscribe to that. And then the second thing that we're going to recommend that we never had when you were a member was something special called the residential one. And would you like to receive the residential listings for the GTA?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do that right now. And there's approximately 50% of the residential listings right here are actually exclusive, not on real estate boards. And we're now subscribing Doris to that as well. So she'll receive 1 email only for the GTA residential, whether there's 2 listings or 20 listings. She'll get only 1 email with the new listings in it. And about 50% of them are actually exclusive, not on a real estate board. And then once you're a member, you can also choose this property type called for sale by owner. And we're recommending that all our members get this. And you'll see there's different for sale by owners. Up here, you'll see you can search this for sale by owner database too. The public can post information free on our service, and you can elect to receive them by email, which we have here. And I'm going to go ahead and subscribe her to receive the FSBOs. And those are the 3 lists that we recommend in this particular case here. Alrighty. Now we're going to go right back to ICIWorld.com, and there's other resources that are available to you. I'm going to click on For Members and go down the page, and you're going to see number 7, Training and Support. Everyone can go visit that on their own time, and it actually gets right into adding listings, etc., in a little more detail than what we have basically done. And anyone that hasn't made money in a 3-month period or triggered leads in a 3-month period, you really need to go into this training and support. The next thing that you can do is register for how to work exclusive information. This is a webinar that comes once a month, and you can register for that. Again, if you're not making money every 3 months, you should register for that. It's going to teach you how to work exclusive information. You simply click on that, and then you can pick the dates, and you'll see the upcoming webinar dates as you come along here. And then you simply go down the page and then just kind of register yourself right in there. And then the nice thing about registering for these particular functions is that if you cannot make it, you will still receive a copy of the recorded session by email. Usually about 6 hours after the event, around 6, 7, or 8 o'clock at night on the Friday. If it's on a Friday, most of them are on a Friday. The other one is the register for how to promote your website. One of the most important sessions. If you haven't made money on ICI World, then you really have got to take this particular session, because the widgets that we put on your website absolutely are inevitable to trigger leads for every single member. That's why we're so confident to make our statements, is because the widgets, people can't click on them. They have to call you for more information. And we're actually going to demonstrate that thing here, I think, in a moment. So register for that session, how to promote your website. Over here, you can actually order I'm going to go to ordering the widgets. If you have an existing website, you should order these widgets for your particular website. And I'm going to show you and demonstrate quickly. I think I can do it now, is click on that. And you'll see there's an order form here that you can order it. It's free. It's included in your membership. And our memberships are as little as $40 per month or $3.19 per year. Okay, and if you refer someone, then you can actually get it reduced to $240 as well. Okay, let's move on. Now, the widgets. There's an example of a commercial one, and there's some example of some residential ones. And I'm going to click on maybe I'll click on this residential real estate investment one here by Nelly, and you'll see it's a nice clean website. We also make these websites for $16.50 a month. But I'm going to click on, and by the way, don't hold me to the price, because if the price changes after today, it could change, but that's what it is now. Take advantage of it. It's very good. Now, we make these special buttons over here on the left-hand side, the ones for commercial and the ones for residential. Now, I'm going to be displaying some of these when I show the websites that we make in a moment. But right now, I just want to display the residential widget from ICIWorld. I'm going to click on that. And you'll see that this comes up. And when you click on Search Database, up comes the listings. And if somebody's interested in this one in Vaughan, they are going to try to click on that particular property, and they cannot do it. So in other words, what's going to happen is that people cannot click on these listings, so you end up getting a call, and somebody's going to call you up one day, Doris, and say, I'm interested in message number 358862. Can you help me?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to say, yes, we can help you. I will have someone phone you back. And you are going to get a hold of the broker that's got this particular listing and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? That is a 5-minute phone call, and it's averaging $3,000 to $10,000. If you have these listings on your website, you have a chance to trigger leads. If you don't have these listings on your website, you have no chance to trigger a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back. Now, people can actually choose to receive listings for any place in the world, but if they happen to be looking in one particular area, and maybe they're just looking in Toronto only, they can go here and choose their location, and they can choose to sort them by price and search, and there's the buyers and sellers of some residential listings in the Toronto Scarborough, detached home bungalow, bingo. They'll try to click on it, can't do it. Now, sometimes what they'll do is they'll copy that and they can send it to you in a message, where if you have it set up, people can actually, excuse me, 1 second, they can go to contact me and they can come down here and paste that message in here and then ask you for more information on that number and fill in the form.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next, in addition to that, we put the commercial buttons, even if you're a residential agent, because someday somebody might come here and they might want something, they might just want to look at the investment properties, and they will pull this up. And this is a widget from ICIWorld that every broker in the world can have on their website, except if you're in British Columbia, you'll have the British Columbia page instead of the Ontario page. And if you're in Florida, you'll have the Florida page from ICIWorld. Now, I'm going to click on apartment buildings, because if somebody's looking for an apartment building and you have a buyer that's looking for apartment buildings, you're going to see that you will have 450 apartment buildings from $165 million on down. You tell me if that isn't incredible. Now, if someone is interested in one of these properties, and there's development, let me see, okay, Stony Creek Custom Home, new 8-plex. Okay, there's an 8-plex. That's something that you were looking for. You had a buyer looking for that. You should give that person a call.
Right.
There they are, right there. And I would say in the terms of apartment buildings that up to 90% of these listings are not on real estate boards. So you can either make an appointment to try to go show that property, or you can do a referral to that particular broker and then get paid a referral fee. We now have one broker who's done 15 referrals. If you figure 5 minutes each for a referral, that's like 75 minutes of his time. He's actually made $45,000 just doing referrals. If you have this on your website, you have a chance to trigger leads. If you do not have it, you have no chance. Okay, let's go back. Other things, people can search by city. You know, people can click on Burlington and do a search. There's all the properties in Burlington. And you'll see them all come up. And we also have keyword searching, hotels, motels, restaurants. So it's incumbent upon you to send people to your particular website. And if somebody's interested in a restaurant, tell them to go to your website, Ontario Commercial, and click on restaurants and search. And lo and behold, look at all the restaurants that you have on your website coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
So without these, you have no chance of triggering a leave. Next time you're at a restaurant, leave your business card with the owner. Let them know that you've got, and let's see the number up here, you've got over 200 buyers and sellers of restaurants on your website right there. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
This is part of how to promote your website. You talk about what you have on your website, not just the fact you have a website with some residential homes, but you've got it all. You've got residential properties that are on a real estate board. You've got exclusive properties that are not on a real estate board. You've got residential, you've got commercial, you've got it all. Now these are called the widgets. You order the widgets. You can also order a website which is free for 30 days, and then if you want to keep it basically $16.50, it's $19 a month, or if you pay by the year, $16.50 a month. And if I click on this is Nellie's website. This is one of the websites we created for her. This is what it looks like. In addition to just the homes from the Search MLS, which we install this for you. In other words, ICIWorld is an official installer of the IDX link from the Toronto Real Estate Board. We're registered with them for many years to install links on websites. We can do that, and you can have people can search the MLS right from your website. The second thing they can do is, because the hosting company also has a network of people, people can click on this GTA Homes, for instance, and we're waiting up here for it to come up. You'll see it going around and around. Up comes these homes up on the screen. Beautiful pictures of homes. Now, if I was to click on that, you'll see how the pictures come up on the screen, and it will have your picture here, and people can actually start looking at the home. But it gets even better. Watch this. I'm going to make this the size of a mobile device. People can actually go on their mobile device and see your home on their mobile device, because all the websites we supply are mobile optimized. They're mobile friendly. So when people want to see these homes, you tell me if this isn't the ultimate in marketing on the internet.
Absolutely.
Look at that garage. Beautiful. Okay, so you will have this, and at $16.50, you simply join ICIWorld, make an appointment. We get it all up and running. 1 hour orientation and a 1 hour to get your website up and running. You can have more than one website, so that's a good idea to kind of do that as well. Okay. All right, next. Hang on one moment. Let's go back up here. So there's more to it than the website, but I've just shown you a few things right there. You'll also have the world on your website for commercial real estate and for residential, where people can actually pick any category of the world. And theoretically, if they wanted the USA, they could do that. They could come down here and search the database, and you'll see listings coming up in the USA as well. Nobody can click on these numbers. If they call you on something like that, you can end up doing a referral. Okay, now let's how did we get to all of this stuff in the first place? Well, it all begins, you search from time to time, you click on member login, do stuff there, and don't miss anything on this page, or you can be missing doing deals. And then if you go back to the main page and click on for members, there's where you can do 4 things there: register for these 2 webinars, order a website, and also for the widgets. Now, other things to note, we've talked briefly about the sponsorship program. And if you, on this particular for members page right up here, you'll see that we have some things here that you can go. There's the sponsorship program right there. You click on it, and when you click on it, you'll see it is an official sponsorship program. Okay? If you refer 4 people, you actually get a year free. You refer 1 person for $3.19, your membership renewal can be as little as $2.40. Make sure that you tell the person joining to mention your name, because we can let them join for $2.40 for 1 year just by mentioning their name. The next thing is we recommend that because we are a society of real estate brokers and salespeople, we also do seminars in offices with all the tools, the tips, the tricks, the ideas of how brokers can make money on the internet. And we're going to suggest that you can click on one of these. And if you want to get an idea of what's in the seminar, you go down here and just kind of read all about them. And there's a sample of some of the webinars that we've done. And if I was to click on maybe one of these presentation pages, you can see this is the actual announcement that you can send out to your staff. So if you're a member of ICI World, we recommend that you can set us up to come into your office and actually do a nice presentation in the office about what's going on with the ICI World Society of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople, and to help other people in the office. And the more that are on here, the more powerful the network gets, the better it actually is for everyone. Let's go back to the main page. The referral brokers program, again, if you go down to for members, there are some people who are working part-time in the real estate business, and you're going to find that we have a couple of other things here, and one of them is this retired brokers program and the referral brokers program, which are basically both the same. I'm going to click on the retired brokers program. And so we're recommending you never give up your license, that what you can have is basically a website that you just do referrals. In other words, if you have and this explains it all how it's done. If you have a website and you just do referrals, then you can make money while you're doing other things. Once in a while, you get a 5-minute phone call. Can I have information on such and such a number? Then you look it up, you do a referral, and that's it. Now, to prove that there's a good business going on here, I'm going to click on this, see among the most testimonials you will ever see on the internet for an independent real estate service like this. These are all deals that are being done by members on the service. And that's why we're confident that you and everyone can make connections to do deals here. Okay, let's go back to ICI World and back to this for members one more time. And you'll notice that we have a time function over here where we say don't waste time. This is a one-time setup for everyone on the service, because in actual fact, there's really only 2 things that you do once you're a member. You're going to add your listings from time to time, and with one click, you're going to reach the world. You update them once every 31 to 60 days with 2 clicks. It's as simple as 2 clicks. And you're going to search from time to time. You can be standing in line at Tim Hortons and actually just go on your phone and within 3 seconds see the latest listings that are coming up. As far as the circulation and readership, if you wonder what's going on, by the way, I'm on page 6. Other things to note, I'm down to number 7. And I'm going to click on this circulation, distribution, and readership, and I'm going to click on it. And you're going to see that there's quite an extensive circulation and readership for everything that's going on the service. You can actually read through all of this yourself. And we have people coming in from basically 138 countries of the world on a regular monthly basis. The 30 to 40,000 unique sites monthly is not an exact figure of people that are visiting, but as close as we can come to estimating people using all our various services worldwide, not just one site, ICIWorld.com. There we have many. We actually have 70 domain names where all of this stuff comes. The other thing that you could do is you could click on another special thing here that we have, and it's called statistics, which goes into it a little bit more. And I'll click on that just to show you. And you'll see the various countries that are actually coming in here. And I don't know if I can make that a little bit bigger. There they are. You'll see the daily average up to, we post this about every 6 months and then just put the latest ones on there. And you'll see that there's the number of hits that are coming in. Oh, pardon me, that was only a partial month. July was actually the last complete month. And you'll see that it's about 1.5 million hits per month. In addition to that, you'll see the number of visits and the number of pages, etc. This is where we get the number of people visiting on a monthly basis. Sites is about as close as we can kind of get. That's not counting the thousands of people that are viewing the information by email. where they just actually, we send out an email, they see the name of the person and they call the broker. And that's without even clicking on a listing or clicking on our website or clicking on anything on our website. So there's thousands of people receiving the email that we can't even keep track of that are actually calling member brokers, in addition to these particular statistics here that is not even tracked by Google Analytics or any other way, because they read an email and then they call the broker directly and kind of do business. We do recommend that every single member go to our main website and click on this social media button, which I'm going to click on, but I'm going to jump to the bottom of the page, and you can also go and do it here. And you go ahead and click on Facebook, and we would like everyone to click on Facebook and just come in here and do a like, and that way you'll get our odd announcement that we put on here. And you can see that we were actually hiring, but now actually one of the jobs is kind of filled. So, but we're always looking for people to kind of come in, and this is called a seminar coordinator, which we now have people helping us do that. And there's other odd little things that we put in the Facebook as well. Now, if you go to Twitter as well, you should connect. We've done, we do maybe one tweet a month, and we've got installed a new app here that we just put up, and then register how to work exclusive information. People can actually click on that link and actually register for the next session right from the tweet. So you'll find out about some things like that from time to time. Here's another little article about how people in Britain are flocking to Germany. We are a worldwide service, so we'll cover some of the real estate and other parts of the world as well. And then if your broker asks, if as a broker someone asks you, do you have any apartment buildings, what can you answer? There it is. There's a nice little answer. It takes about 9 minutes to listen to, and it shows you how you can be getting people going to your website, searching apartment buildings, calling you back, show the apartment building, and make $35,000. That's what it's all about. And that can start right from a tweet. Okay, let's move back here. Oopsie daisy, I went way back too far. And there's other social media that I must show you. Just one moment, please. Actually, I'll go to this other social media button that's right up here at the top. They're kind of small, but our next round we'll get, we have a wonderful lady who can kind of help us redesign it. It's Lorraine. And when she gets back working from a short holiday there, maybe we can get her redesigning it to make it just a little bit easier for us. And let's go down here, and you can see you should subscribe to YouTube as well. And I'm going to click on that now as a resource for you. All of our videos are actually put on resources here, and you can actually follow us and subscribe. Click on the word subscribe over here. It looks like you're already subscribed, Doris, to receive videos from us. Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely free for everyone to kind of receive that. Let's go back here to LinkedIn. It's the same thing. Get yourself connected in with us, and we do, post the odd thing from time to time. Announcements are going to be coming up on various things that are coming up. We have announcements for Landlord Tenant Act training, and people learning how to learn all about that and how to manage tenants. So many people, there's 50 to 75,000 requisitions to the ministries of housing and all that for tenant problems and issues and non-payments that you've got to get in and get trained on how to manage your buildings. Well, we're going to be announcing that coming up here very shortly too. And by keeping plugged into all these social media, we'll keep you plugged in, so you should get yourself registered. You can always unsubscribe yourself to anything if you find that it's something that you don't want. One other thing that everyone should subscribe to is our special newspaper that comes out once a week on Saturday morning. You subscribe to that, and you'll see that we have an international newspaper that is published weekly. And when you go down here, I'm going to recommend that you always click on the word business to get started. And I'm going to say no thanks to this, but you're going to see that when I click on business, let's try it again, that there's going to be articles, and we're subscribing to the Toronto Real Estate Board as suppliers of information for our service, and Forbes. We actually met Mr. Forbes recently at a ICIWorld Global Conference that was in Toronto at the Weston Harbor Castle just a few months ago. And he was a keynote speaker at our global CCIM conference. High-speed real estate, faster time, response times, more transparency. Like all of these articles, there will always be, I'm saying to the world, there will always be an article of interest for real estate, people interested in real estate, because ICIWorld is a major community of people like-minded people interested in real estate on the internet. And here you have a weekly newspaper that's coming out Saturday morning that's really fun to have a cup of coffee and kind of go through some of these articles and scan through them. There should always be 100% of the time, 99% I'll say, an article of interest every single week for you, and all you have to do is subscribe to that particular newspaper, and you do that through our social media button that will be on our website. Okay, it's a comprehensive presentation that we've sort of done today. Now, the other thing that you also should click on is something special called security. And where do we have it here? Where is the security button? Oh my God, it's actually not here. I'm so surprised. Do you see security here anyplace? Huh.
No.
You know, I'm going to have to try to add it here someplace. It should be in here, and it's not. I'm surprised I haven't put it there. It's so important, too, to have it. I'm actually just going to type it in up here, ICIWorld.com. I'm going to give it to you now, /security, and press enter. And see if this brings it up. Yes, it does bring up the security page that we have here. And you'll notice there's a password test here, how to design a proper password. There's a phishing test here, and if you don't know what this phishing is, you're cruising for a bruise, and you can end up clicking on a link that is a fake and a fraud link. Phishing will teach you how to watch out for it. And there's other security things in here. This is a major public service to all people in the business, our security page, and you can go through this and you can read on videos that teach you, and there was a sting operation with someone who got caught for fraud and all that kind of stuff. You can actually go through this page, and it'll help you be a lot more wiser about your computer and using your computer. Now, SSL certificates, you're going to notice that sometimes when you type in something, you have to type in https://www.iciworld.com. You don't have to type it that way, but if you do, it's secure. And you'll notice when I press on enter, there's a little lock here, which means that ICI World is a secure site. Now, sometimes websites are not showing up from within our website because they're not secure, because they don't have an SSL certificate. I'm letting every single member know now, you should all get yourselves an SSL certificate so that you have a secure website. So when you have a mobile website, it's a secure site for everyone in the world to kind of visit. That completes our session on page 6 down to number 11. I'm now going to page 7. Just let me hang on one second here while I get organized. Thank you so much for your... There's one more problem in the industry, and it happens to do with mail going into spam. And so this is a note literally for all members. Now, I don't know if I have the note here. Actually, I'm going to click on member login. And you're going to note that right now we happen to have this note right at the top, but it could be moved, that many times legitimate email is actually getting trapped in your spam folder. In Gmail, you must go find your spam folder. And you may find that some of the listings that you're not getting from ICI World are actually trapped in your spam. And some of the notices that we have for upcoming events and monthly notices to remember to, don't forget the service, update your listings, stuff like that, are going to spam. And you should go there and unspam them. You should click on not spam. But in addition to that, besides marking your mail as not spam, you should also add the from email address of that particular email. You should add it to your contacts. So, and there's potentially from ICI World, there's actually 4 places you could be getting the email from. So you have to go and check if the mail from ICI World is actually going to your spam. But some of the addresses that you can add is customer service at ICIWorld.com, service at ICIWorld.net. Add those to your spam, to your contacts. And because as legitimate mail, you know something, I've got people, when we go and check in the orientation session one-on-one and we check their mail, we find that they've got other people from other services, friends of theirs, sending them stuff, and they wondered where the mail was, and here it was, all caught in spam. So what's happened is, like Google and all these other companies, they've just tightened up on all this mail going through the internet to the point that legitimate mail is not even getting through. And so, of course, if there's advertisers, they can't advertise through the email anymore because they're being stopped. And that forces people to advertise with Google. And so people are spending a lot of money with Google, and too bad they couldn't send it through, and simply give people the choice to unsubscribe. Every single email that goes out to the industry must have an unsubscribe option. And if it has that, then it should be okay. It's commercial mail, unsubscribe, I don't want to ever see it again. And so people should have that. And all of our mail does have that. And we have a very extensive, comprehensive unsubscribe list that we never send mail to any of those people ever again. And as a matter of fact, when you want mail, you may not even get it. We have to make sure that you get it. So you have to call us if you're a member. If you're not getting mail, why am I not getting mail? Call us, because we have to go and maybe go to that a spam mail blocker that we've put in place to not send you mail. We have to go there and take you off it. And sometimes it goes on there automatically, because if we tried to send mail 2 or 3 times and for some reason it didn't go through, it will actually automatically put you into that list. So because we're volume mail senders of the internet, those are the things that are happening on there. You can easily get into our list that prevents us from even sending you legitimate mail. Okay, now tech work being done. Conclusion, there's about 3.7 billion people now using the internet, with 60% of these people are using mobile devices, and we're very, very well positioned to kind of help all of your information get out to the industry through these mobile websites. And you, as a member, are the most well-positioned people in the industry to collect all of this exclusive, the FSBOs, and all the information out there that's not on real estate boards. And you have a chance to do more business than you ever managed. So our service, you should have both services. Of course, you use the regular real estate board services, but in addition to that, you can now use ICIWorld. You can't do offers from ICIWorld. It's not even comparable in that sense with a real estate board service. It's separate handling, information only. We're calling it an exclusive information listing service. Now the key takeaways today: make sure that you get the widgets on your website. And I'm going to go back to the 4 members. You come down here and make sure you get these widgets working on your website. Get at least 15 haves and wants working. And make sure you know how to work exclusive information, either by taking this webinar or by clicking on the YouTube channel and going here and reviewing some of these. You can see the 61 viewers here, but reviewing some of these YouTube channels. Most of our members have reviewed them and know how to work exclusive information. And then you go back and you search from time to time. It takes 1 second to click on search, 1 second to click on residential, and 1 second to click on search database and check some of the latest listings come in. The nice thing that we've just built for you is that if you choose, let's say, Canada, and if you choose Ontario, and if you choose Greater Toronto, and if you only want to search properties in Mississauga, then what you can do is you search. Now, the next time you go back, the mobile websites are set up that it'll bring you right back to the same search, so it can actually hold the searches. On this one it didn't, so I have to work on that. Place your information from time to time, and with 1 click reach the world. You simply click on modify member record, you click on add have want, you put your information in here, choose the various areas that you're located in, add your listing, click on latest world commercial, there's your listing right on top. With 1 click you literally reach the world. You also measure your results every 90 days, and we've got it in a number of places. One up here is our pledge. You come down here, you measure your success with our pledge. It's inevitable that you do business. You should never go longer than 90 days without doing business. either a referral or at the very minimum developing good business relationships with someone that you feel can lead to doing business with someday. Otherwise, you give us a call. And that you could have a material defect in your membership. You can click on that online and see what that's all about. The solution is to fix them, and that you can book a little session for that particular thing. Now, beta test, and let me see, I don't know if we have our beta test here. And we're going to just leave that beta test out of there for now. And that's our session for today for orientation. Simply make an appointment up here, and there's our webinar workshop. And we can actually go in and physically check your website, make sure all the widgets are working, and then also check your listings and make sure they're all set up correctly. Doris, do you have any last minute questions? I got to thank you for your patience to suffer through all this little bit of punishment that we're going through here. It's a one-time setup, and then you're on your own to add listings.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. And so we're going to stop the recording, and that's it for our members.